I am here. This is X35 Earthwalker, the one true Earthwalker, the legendary internal soldier himself, and welcome back to another awesome podcast episode, and hopefully later on a video. Today, we're jumping straight into it, man. We're going to be talking about Xbox, the Game Pass Ultimate, what's been happening. We spoke about this before, but I want to get into more detail to get straight in. I'm not going to be as kind this time. So let's get the nice thing right out, the nice part right out the way. Again, you got to go with what works for you and what you can afford. If you ain't got the money, there's no shame in that. That's just the situation. That's just the reality of it. The majority of people in this world globally, we look at it, they are poor. All right? And, still thank God it could be worse. You got people who are homeless, literally. You got people starving to death in North Korea. It can always be way worse, but you're not in that situation. And for those who are in North Korea, hold on, man. Hold on. I know it's tough. Hold on. God loves you, man. And he will avenge you. But yes, so I'm just saying, if you ain't got the money, you ain't got it. If you got to downgrade to a previous tier, you still get your Xbox Live, and so you're still playing that stuff. Do what you got to do. Not everyone can be an ultimate. Not everyone can be one of the elite gamers of Xbox like me. It just is what it is, man. You got to do what's best for you and your finances. Man, them people are doing some work over there. They're moving this, lifting that. You can probably hear it. And if you want to hear more details about some of this stuff and the messages I have, look at the previous podcast episode where I talked about this in a more gentler tone. Because now I'm not going to be as gentle, right? I'm just going to go like straight in on there. There's a lot of idiots out there and they're exposing themselves. Morons, pathetic, brain dead, YouTubers and streamers, content creators, Xbox tax in full effect, the biased media, of course, that's all happening. We know it, man. Anytime Xbox do something, everybody starts yodeling. The town yodels with the bells and the fancy hats. But when PlayStation do something, it's like crickets. And when Nintendo do something, there's a bit of backlash, as they call it. But no one as big as Xbox. Everybody jumping on Xbox because it's the best. It's the best, and they're just jumping on it. You got the retard, the Axeman, still talking of doing this thing. He's got garbage videos, except for the Yu-Gi-Oh video that he made. You got Angry Joe there, being the moron that he is. He's a PlayStation fanboy. He's also paid by Sony. This guy is just sitting there, put up that face, acting like he cares about corporate greed and stuff. Where's this corporate greed when PlayStation raised the price of PS Plus and literally added nothing new to it? Where was that corporate greed, Angry Joe? Nowhere near as angry, nowhere near as nothing, bro. What a freaking moron. But let's go into some of these things right here. Let's first of all tackle the whole, Xbox Game Pass, not the best deal anymore, not worth $30. People saying that are very much illogical. They're saying a very stupid thing. And if you go at it, calm yourself down and look at it, that's absolutely false. That's absolutely false. I mean, come on. Let's just look at, forget 2024, because 2024 was a banger of a year for Xbox's games and first parties and stuff like that. 2023 was crazy as well. I mean, that was the time we got one of the best games ever made, Starfield, and the things that was happening. But if we look at just 2025, they're hammering upstairs, man. They are hammering. Hey, man, people got work to do and stuff like that. So hopefully they don't start drilling. They start drilling, then I'm just going to have to pause and then continue, which I hate to do. But, work is getting done in the area. But so let's take a look at this. In January, I had to make a list because I always end up missing a few off the top of my head, and I can't be expected to remember everything across all the years and stuff. I can't. You can't expect that of me, right? Show some dang mercy, all right? So in January, it was Eternal Strands. These are excellent games. Eternal Strands had a great time there working with Bryn. She's a better climber than Link. Yeah, that's right. Breath of the Wild. She's a better climber than Link. It's crazy. There's no safety harness, no hooks, no nothing. These guys just be barehanding it, which makes no sense. But gaming logic, everyone. So you had Eternal Strands, right? February was Avowed. March is Atom's Fall, and I think 33 Immortals. April was South of Midnight, Expedition 33, and Towerborn. I'm just going over some of the games that was released, in the Game Pass, like some maybe more like bigger names. I'm just going for that. If we were to talk about just Xbox exclusive, then you have things like Avowed, but we're just gonna and South Midnight, but we'll continue. And Towerborn, don't forget Towerborn, that was also all in April. May, Doom, The Dark Ages, and also had Oblivion Remaster. Was that also in May? I think that was also in May, yeah. And then June, Space Marine, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 1 Master Crafted Edition. That was also exclusive to Xbox because it's just Xbox and PC. PlayStation got skipped because, they don't be buying games over there. Look at Astrobot. 75 million consoles, right? But only 1.5 million sales. That's less than 2.2%, dude. Yeah, PlayStation guys don't be buying the games. All right. Maybe they're broke over there. Probably. Right, and then what happened in, I believe, was it June or July? No, July. There was Wu Chang Fallen Feathers and Mecha Break. Mecha Break also exclusive to Xbox, right? And then, let's see what we got here. August, we had Gears of War Reloaded and Dragon Age the Veilguard, the best of the Dragon Age games. That's there as well. And then, let's move down the list. September is, gosh, how do I forget what it's called? This is why you know things now. Hollow Knight Silk Song. And bigger than Hollow Knight Silk Song, easily, Visions of Mana. The latest in the Mana series, by the way. Come on now. Oh my goodness. And then October, well, obviously some of them are still to be released, but right now we've got the Black Ops 7 beta happening right now. I've already dived in there. You know, I've live streamed and everything, so you can look at the video that I got up there on that game. And also, October should also be Ninja Gaiden 4. Gaiden is for the peasants. Gaiden is for the elites, like me. Ninja Gaiden 4. And I think Outer Worlds 2 is coming out at the end of October as well. So Outer Worlds 2, November, should be the full-on Call of Duty Black Ops 7 release as well. Look at all those games. And remember, this isn't everything that got released in the Game Pass, you know, over the year. Like 2024 stuff, games like For the King 2 just dropped. Some of them like kind of silently just like dropped in there. You know, you've got Flintlock The Siege of Dawn. You got Atlas Fallen Reign of Sand, Immortals of Avium, Lords of the Fallen, Dead Island 2, FBC Firebreak. And that big update, they said that they were working off to hear lots of feedback, and they like went quiet for a long time because they wanted to bring that out in September. The update for Firebreak is here. I reinstalled it right now, and I'm going to be jumping on that. I'm probably going to do that in the next live stream, so it'll probably be tomorrow on a Tuesday. They're hammering up there, so you have to ignore that. I'm sorry, guys. I got things to do, so I can't postpone this. But yeah, all of that stuff. So that's extra. This isn't all of it, but this is some of the more bigger names that you will definitely like remember, because maybe it was like announced more or talked about. There's like multiple posts and stuff like that. Eternal Strands, Avowed, Atom's Fall, 33 Immortals, South of Midden, Expedition 33, Tower Bond, Doom the Dark Ages, Oblivion Remaster, Space Marine 1 Master Crafted, Mecha Break, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Gears War Reloaded, Dragon Age the Veilguard, Silk Song, no Hollow Knight, Visions of Mana, you know, Black Ops 7 Beta, Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, and the full-on Call of Duty Black Ops 7. You're telling me that's not worth $30 a month? Are you stupid? You think that's not worth it? Sucker, even if it's $40, it'll be worth it. That's crazy value. And these aren't small games. These aren't small games, sucker. I got hours in Silk Song. And Silk Song is the simplest game of all the games here. It's a 2D thing going on with 3 people working on it. It's the simplest to make game. You know, you can replicate that the easiest. And I got hours in that. There's games like Visions of Mana where I've got like 50 hours. And there's like more stuff that I can actually do in Visions of Mana. But you know, I'm moving through all these games trying to split the time. 33 Immortals, there's some grinding and story things be going on there. Eternal Strands, that's a full-on adventure. Avow, one of the best RPGs of like first-person action. I know you can go to third-person just like with Starfield, which is amazing. But like, Avow is freaking amazing. With the best first-person like melee combat, I think, in all of gaming. Way better than the first-person melee combat in Oblivion, Skyrim. Their first-person melee combat, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sucks. But they're working with what they can. Avow just tops the charts with that. You know, Adam's Fall is in there. Some people describe it like Fallout, but in like the UK or something like that. You know, South of Midnight, 10 out of 10. Beautiful game, story. You know, South of Midnight, build different. Compulsion games, you did your dang thing, right? Expedition 33, I think I don't need to say anything about that game. I think everybody's calling that game like a freaking 11 out of 10. Like, some people are saying, called it, game of the year already. You know, I ain't mad at them, but there are competitors, so it's not just clean cut. But Expedition 33 is just that darn good of a game, right? Tower Bond, probably the best local co-op, what you will call it, couch play, multiplayer game right now with a lot that you can grind towards, multiple maps, hexing the map. That game alone is going to keep you busy, right? The Dark Ages, but it's Doom. Come on, bro. Killing demons have never felt so good, bro. It's between that and Doom Eternal. Oblivion Remaster, y'all went crazy for that, and it started, like, swindling people in shops. Space Marine 1, Warhammer 40,000 Edition Master Crafted, right? That's up in there. I played through that. I defeated the Chaos Space Marine in the end. Mecha Break, crazy mech game. I have been like dominating that. I'm also the world record holder in that game for Operation Verge. Highest number of kills was 0 deaths, and I had no allies, as in I didn't come in with a party. I went solo, no mic. I'm the world record holder in there. So Mecha Break is amazing. Wu Chang, The Feathers That Be Fallen. That game was a full-on adventure with an annoying boss, but we got through and beat him, and it was a fun game. I was gonna see what Wu Chang be doing. Right, Gears of War Reloaded. Yeah, PlayStation fans thought they could jump into multiplayer. They thought things were about to be sweet. They got their cheeks spreaded, and yeah, that's what's gonna happen to you every time. So they ran away from that game like cowards. Yo, PlayStation guys, you're not on the same level as gamers with Xbox guys. You're just not. Sorry. Dragon Age of Velgar, the biggest and the best of all the Dragon Age games, is jumped in there. Remember how I said Xbox is the home of Final Fantasy, and I said that Xbox is the home of Dragon Age. Xbox is also the home of Division games as well, because remember, Trials of Mana, Legends of Mana is also their Division Mana. We got Dragon Age Velgar that's there as well, with Inquisition 2 and Origins and the other. So Xbox is the best place to play, right? And then of course you got, like I said, Silksong. People are hyping up Silksong. It's overrated. It's an amazing game. Solid 9 out of 10 from me. But they're overrated. One person even said that Silksong might be the greatest game ever made. I skipped his video. I said I'm not watching that nonsense. But that's how some people feel about it, apparently. Visions of Mana, we wouldn't mention that. Black Ops 7 beta. Also, first time they released Zombies in the beta. Go try it out. Zombies is fun. There's a killer bear with, I don't know, feels like a swarm of bees on his head coming for you. Right? And they're not bees, but you know what I mean. And you can grind and get rewards that's going to be carried over into the full release. So, dive into the beta, maybe? I don't know what to tell you. Ninja Gaiden 4, we've seen that, and I want to take a Master Ninja difficulty. That is going to be looking like a challenge and fun at the same time. Outer Worlds 2, check that out. And, of course, full-on Black Ops release. If that doesn't sound like it. And on top of that, right, the Ubisoft Plus Classics, that all just dropped in there. And on the day they announced it out, they added like 40 free games. 40 free games. Let me go into it right now because my Xbox is right here. Let me go straight into it. We already made a full list of these in the last episode. But you know, you got the Settlers, New Allies. You got Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon. You got Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Right? You got Monopoly, multiple types of Monopolies actually. You got Uno, Played Out the Family. You've got Rabbids Party, like of Legends. You got a bunch of Assassin's Creeds. Dear gosh. You got Starlink, Battle for Atlas. You got that massive game Skull and Bones, right? You've got Rainbow Six Extraction, Tom Clancy edition, right? You've got Hungry Shark World. You got Steep. You got Rayman Legends, Valiant Hearts, the Great War, and you got Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They put Watch Dogs in here, and the Assassin's Creed Chronicles. So China, Russia, and India all up in now, all right there. And also, they dropped in, this is not part of Ubisoft though, they dropped in Hogwarts Legacy, and they dropped in Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Xbox said there's over 400 games to pick from. How is that not crazy value? Remember, when PlayStation increased PlayStation Plus, they added nothing with it. They just said, we believe in quality and bring you more quality. And PlayStation guys just, I guess, sucked to that cock. Absolutely nothing to say. Retards are Angry Joe, what no outburst. Where's the idiot Moist Critical and the Silver Asman? They had nothing to say because they're a bunch of ugly, useless bums. They got nothing to say, right? Gosh, man, nothing. But Xbox does something and increases so much value, adding things. Nothing to say. Remember, increased amount in the Microsoft reward points. If you want more details on that, I went over that in the previous episode. Let's just say I'd be earning money, right? Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, and it's an excellent game. Played out with the family, by myself, friends, and there's a lot to do in it. It's well made. It's full of action. So if you like those kind of games, check that out. Right, and then they added, of course, EA. So there's other someone that's already there, but they added more because before things like the Dead Space remake, that's there. You can just download that and just like play that right off the rip. And better than Dead Space, you got the Callisto Protocol that's already in there, so you can just download that and jump into that also. So if that's not value to you, and then of course it doesn't end there. You've got the Fortnite crew. Now, I'm not a Fortnite player like that. I've jumped in the future. Like I said, I might do a stream and do some zero build and stuff like that, but Fortnite, the people who say, oh, no one cares about Fortnite, they're just idiots. Let's be real and let's be honest here. You can't sit there and say no one cares about Fortnite. According to this right here, player auctions and another source, Fortnite has, as of June 18th, 2025, Fortnite has approximately 1,574,880 active players at peak times. Now, what game are you playing right now if it has more active players than that? Yeah, look at you, gone silent. Exactly. Shut up. Millions play Fortnite. You can hate on it all you want because you tried to be the next ninja on stream and nobody cared about your stream. All right? You failed. We get it. You're mad. You're mad that a bunch of 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds beat you in that game because you thought you was good at game. All you heard was, get no-scoped by some screeching kid. All right? And you're mad about that. You're embarrassed. Your wife saw that and she left you. I get it. That's why you're mad at Fortnite. But to say no one cares about Fortnite, to say that the game is trash when it has the most updates of like 80 game, Sucker Goku and these anime characters are in this, Superman, like... Man, no, you can't say it's trash. Look at this. Additionally, it retains a massive global audience with over 250 million active players as of March 2025. The game also boasts a registered player base exceeding 650 million. That sounds like millions of people care about Fortnite. So if you're going to say nobody cares about Fortnite, just remember this. More people care about Fortnite than people care about you miserable troll online. All right? 100,000 people don't even know who you are. All right? But millions play and care about Fortnite and invest their time into it. So, grow the frick up and let's be honest when it comes to gaming. Millions care about Fortnite. Every time you look at monthly active users across the board, especially for Xbox and PlayStation, every time, number one is Call of Duty, number two is Fortnite, and the next month, number one is Fortnite, and the number two is Call of Duty. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of people care about Fortnite. So stop being an idiot and be honest. Hating on Fortnite just because you're edgy and get some likes. You're not cool, bro. Go accomplish something in your life first. Because Fortnite definitely accomplished a lot. So the many people who are going to see that and you get Fortnite crew, you get 1,000 V-Bucks every month and you get the battle pass, stuff like that. That's a huge deal, especially if you're a Fortnite player. That's crazy. You might as well cancel your Fortnite crew, get Ultimate, and get all that stuff that Xbox offers with that. Remember, you get the Xbox Cloud, which again is like the center of what Xbox got going on with the ecosystem. The Game Pass, again, I can just grab my VR headset that's right there, the Xbox VR headset, go in my room and power that mug up, and I can play Fuga Melodies are still free on there right now. I can play Wu Chang, I can play Gears 5, I can play the games that I bought and some of these games that's available at Xbox Anywhere, all through that headset. Aliens, Fire Team, Elite. I can jump into Heretic and Hexen. I can jump into Halo. It doesn't matter, bro. It doesn't matter. It's like a Hogwarts Legacy because they're on the Game Pass. That's thing on the cloud right now. I'm telling you, bro. I don't say Hogwarts Legacy is not big. These are big games. Hogwarts Legacy was one of the three main big name games alongside Starfield. That was the best selling games on Steam. They were in the platinum tier. If you know about the tiers, platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. Bronze means your game sold well. Silver obviously better. Gold and platinum means you sold like crazy. Starfield was up there with Hogwarts Legacy. And I think it was Baldur's Gate 3 was up there as well. I think those are the three big names of platinum tier selling in Steam. Yeah. Starfield was best selling. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Starfield also got Game of the Year. It was given it by Rectify Gaming. And Xbox Game of the Year. Yeah. What did Spider-Bugger 2 get again? Yeah, nothing. They call it 007, remember? So yeah, so let's not forget that. So that is huge value. That is value. That is objectively more value, and for $30 you're still getting a steal. Again, if you can't afford that, like many people can't. That's the reality of it. I would never laugh at you or mock you for that. If that's how it is, downgrade then. Go to Essential, go to Premium, whatever it is. You gotta do what's best for you, not about what the internet thinks of you. It doesn't matter. The internet's saying, oh, big ups and patting your back does not pay your rent. All right, so use some wisdom. If you got to downgrade because you can't afford it, downgrade. I can afford it. I love it. It's best for me. I'm someone who plays loads of games that you can see from my channels, everything that I'm doing. I'm playing multiple games right now. I found all the princesses and slay the princess, the pristine cut, and all that kind of stuff. This is amazing for me. And remember, think of it this way. What do they say now in America? $360 a year now for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate? Well, think of it as, and this isn't accurate, but think of it like, that's like $1 a day. You walk past a bum on the street, you can spare $1. Yeah. $1 a day. $1 a day for something I use literally every day. And then I can go to Xbox Share, so I can share it with the family. Come on, man. That's more value than... You can't say nothing about that. Now, if you want to say that's not value or that's not worth it, then objectively, yeah, you're just an idiot. It is. You can just say subjectively, it's not worth it to me. Like I said, if all you do is play one game, you just play Fortnite, or you just play, Fortnite with Fortnite Crew, maybe now that'd be worth it. But like, if you just play Call of Duty, like that's all you play, you're better off just buying the game outright and just get the vault or whatever it is and just leave it as that. That's not going to do you any good. But if you're like me, because all the games I listed earlier when I was listing out which ones came out in like which month and stuff like that, I played all these bangers except for Atom's Fall. Every game I named on this list, I played all of... Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention Grounded 2. When did Grounded 2 come out? Which month was that? See, I'm missing things on my list. Grounded 2 by Obsidian. You know, list these things on the list. And speaking of Obsidian, let's go over this again. The people are trying so hard, working together to get rid of Xbox. These idiots don't realize... Let's just say Xbox does go. That's like 60% of the game industry goes with it. With everything they got going on. That is crazy. The Xbox is at the top. And people are attacking it. And it's just a planned attack, bro. When PlayStation does something, nothing. But then when PlayStation wants to release Ghost of Yotei, which hardly any PlayStation fans I see talking about. I'm not seeing any posts or nothing about the game. Yeah, some YouTubers are playing it. And then you've got like those bums, RDC, because they're being sponsored, they're being paid. Sucker, they wouldn't have touched that game if it weren't for being paid. So the sellouts, all that kind of stuff. Besides that, I don't see anyone talking about the game. I'm disappointed because from what I've seen, it's looking excellent. Again, PlayStation fans, where y'all at? Y'all are letting down PlayStation, bro. That's why developers are now starting to skip PlayStation and go full multi-platform stuff like that. Doesn't work. Stellar Blade didn't even get enough either. You know, so PlayStation releases like Ghost of Yotei, and we've got it on. People got the screenshots. People got the proof. I've seen it in videos. Again, you can take a look at Island Gaming with Jay, Dirt Griggity. You can look at these other groups. They showed the proof. PlayStation out here. I mean, we don't even know it could be PlayStation. It could be others that they're doing it for them. They got bots trying to build hype for Ghost of Yotei. Actual bots saying the same things. And then you've got a bunch of bots attacking Xbox right now. They're showing up at Call of Duty's posts, Treyarch's posts. It's showing up at Xbox's post, all spamming the same thing. And I got it investigated. Not only are these bots clearly bot accounts, not real. These bots follow each other. So the bots follow other bots. No Autobots. That's the wrong bots. But these bots are following other bots, posting the same thing, or following anything Xbox does. Coincidence? I think not. No Incredibles. You know, like for real, like, isn't that funny? So bots are promoting and hyping up PlayStation's game with Sucker Punch, but these bots are also attacking Xbox. And this is nothing new. I talked about the bots that attacked Starfield, the bots that attacked Diablo 4, the bots that attacked Call of Duty, the bots that attacked Overwatch. I already talked about this. So this is nothing new, but the bots are more clear now, posting the exact same thing. And that whole, the page for unsubscribers, for unsubscribe from Game Pass, that page crashed because so much activity. You do also know that people also went to that page to stack up on Game Pass before the price increase officially kicked in. So a bunch of people rushed there because they wanted to stack up on more Game Pass as well. Again, but your low IQ, stupid brain is not capable of thinking. You didn't think that through. You just thought that was just tons of people unsubscribing. No, you're a moron, right? And I think unless you really can't afford, you don't have $1 a day. You don't have 95 cents a day. You don't have that. So you unsubscribe completely. Well, you're going to need something. You want that Xbox, live gold. You want to be able to, play these games. You're going to want something. So, yeah. And the people who did foolishly unsubscribe out of reflex because they can't think for themselves, mob mentality, well, like with Mr. Burns, you're going to come crawling back. And if you're saying, you want to be clever, you want to try to clap back, I'm just going to go PC. That's low-key what Microsoft wants anyway. And if you go to PC, the more expensive gaming, you give it more money to Microsoft. So yeah, good job punishing Microsoft. I'm leaving Xbox and I'm going to PC. Yeah, well, I'm going to build a Linux computer. Yeah, go ahead. Go have fun with Linux. These guys are losers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, go get your $2,000 PC. And go get the NVIDIA's 5090 graphics card for $2,500. Yeah, there you go, $4,500. But you can't afford $30 a month. Yeah, shut the frick up. All right, just stop it. Oh my gosh. The people are like, man, I'd rather own my games. You don't own your games. You think because you bought full-on money, bought Halo Infinite, you own Halo Infinite? No. Halo Studios owns Halo Infinite. And Xbox owns it. which means Microsoft owns it. You don't own it. You can't pull nobody to court over and say, they've taken my property, Halo Infinite. It doesn't work like that, idiot. You just have the means to be able to play that game. You don't truly, by the definition of the word, own it. So let's get this owning nonsense out of the way. You don't own it, for real. You just don't. All right? Let's keep it a buck. You don't full on own it. People talk about, I want to have my gaming library. All right, which old game have you touched in the last week? I don't see you playing Modern Warfare 1. No. You're playing Black Ops 7. I don't see you playing Prince of Persia. What was it? Sands of Time? You know the one where he could turn into like the Dark Prince of Persia. And it's like a whip chain thing. I played that one like years ago. I don't see y'all busting that out. I don't see you playing, the very first Assassin's Creed with Altair. No, sucker. When was the last time you went and ditched these new games to go play an old game? How many of y'all right now is playing what you call Trials of Mana? How many? All right, then shut up about this. I want to have my library. I got my old Xbox games right there. The cases are sitting right there. I got the Fable Free, that special edition thing right there. I can see like the chicken on the side. I've got those things right there. And I liked it. I love the look of my collection. I can rub my finger along the side, the spines. I can see the game names and all that stuff. But I'm going to be honest. I haven't picked up one of those, cracked it open, pull out the disc, and put it in the Xbox. I haven't done that in like freaking years. All right? And I'm assuming it's going to be the same for y'all. If you're playing Silk Song and all these other games, you're not touching these old games. All right, so stop this nonsense about, I want a library and, these old games I can go back to. Sucker, be real. You are not playing those old games. And unless you really are serious about those old games, no. With all these new games coming out, but better? No. What old game are you playing? You tell me right now and show me the proof. You aren't playing these old games. You're playing the new games. Like, shut up. You talk about old libraries. So those are just some dumb excuses and stuff like that. But let's go into something else quickly, because I know there's more out there. I mean, heck, you got idiots now talking about, rumor has it, Xbox is not doing the next console anymore. They're canceling it. According to my very reputable insider, I claim to be an insider because I just typed it. Trust me, bro, source. Drink some water, press X to doubt. They're not doing the console no more, man. You mean that same console that they signed a deal with? And you don't just back out from these deals, idiots. These are real full-on things. You can't just cancel something when they're working on it. AMD, these graphics, the new Xbox console. Sarah Bond already confirmed it, bro. And I say right now, if the bonding of Sarah said it, then it is so. Man, they're hammering up there. You better not be murdering someone up there. I'll come up there and square up, bro. But yeah, like the bottom line is they said that's coming. And then Microsoft, I think that's what released another proof. And it's in these videos again. Island Game with Jay and others already showed. I seen it tweeted by people on X and stuff like that, confirming that no, that rumor is basically a whole lot of BS. Everybody who followed it is basically believed it is a dumbass. The consoles are coming. Come on, we've seen Asus, we've seen the Xbox handheld console. Good job, Asus with the ROG Ally X, man. Good job, right? And ROG Ally. Right, and the next Xbox is coming. I know PlayStation losers, you want it to not come because you don't want Steam to be available like that on the Xbox so we can play the games that you guys, Sony is putting day one release on PC. I know, it's your worst nightmare. It keeps you up at night and that is your problem, but no, it is coming confirmed. All right, so like, shut up. They're trying to push that and these people jumped on it. You had all these idiots all making their videos. You have that filthy hobo, the Silver Asbad, because he does nothing, like worthless existence, just like react to these things and stream to get these people on it. Like, yeah, you guys are excited, but you fail every single time and it looks embarrassing. I'm looking forward to what Xbox has got going on. They're doing too good for it right now. So let's speak a bit about like a few other things to show that people are biased and just like full of a whole lot of BS. Like a whole lot of BS. Because anytime, like, the whole price rise thing makes no sense. People act like it's only Xbox doing it, and Xbox is not allowed to raise their prices. Xbox is forbidden. Who's that chick's name? Something Khan or whatever. That I don't know what she is. She might be Indian, but she was like leading the FTC's charge, and maybe probably been paid off by Sony to try and stop Xbox getting acquisition. They say, "Oh, she was right, man. She was right, man. They should have listened to him, man. The price is gonna rise because of ABK. And then there's this white dude on this live stream, proper glazing her, like sucking her toes, bro. Like talking about how, oh, she's a hero. We gotta listen to you. In Khan we trust. Like, dear gosh, he was such a white knighting simp. It looked pathetic, man. Like, could you do any more toe kissing? He clearly wanted a job at the FTC, right? This idiot wants to say that these people, not just him, these other idiots want to say that their price rose because of ABK. First of all, you're gonna have to show proof that it rose literally because of ABK itself. Ain't got none? Right, shut up. That's number one. Number two, like I said, everything goes up. Maybe the price went up because they added a whole bunch of new things because they got plans. And if you can't afford Ultimate, the other tiers are there. So it's not a big deal. People are focusing on Ultimate, but no one's talking about Essential or Premium. Which again shows that people are being tunnel vision. It's selective investigation right there. Let's ignore these two things over here. Let's look at person A. Forget person B and C. Even though they're there and they're part of it and they're there for server purpose and a reason, let's only look at person A. Do you see how disingenuous, how dishonest these scum are? And I call them scum because they are scum. They know they're doing this. Why aren't you talking about Premium and Essential? Right? Everything's gone up. Broadband and internet's gone up. You know, and the heating, electricity has gone up. Public transport has gone up, right? Taxes has gone up. Council tax has gone up. Your products and foods, eggs and all that stuff, they've all gone up. I told you the story about the chicken and chip shop, how, you know, that went up. It used to be £1.60, it's now £3.40. Everything is going up. You think these people you think that chicken and chip shop wanted to raise the prices on their loyal customers that come in there for over 25 years? No. But when the prices of potato goes up, the price of delivery goes up, the price of those boxes to put their chicken and chips into goes up, and you know, like your heating and the oil cost and all that goes up, they have to raise the price of their food so they can still sell things at a profit. Everything goes up, sometimes for good reasons and sometimes for bad reasons, right? But everything's going up. But when Xbox does it, oh no, let's jump on them. Let me get my views and let me finally get likes for my channel. You know, all of that. Because negative news is what sells. But speaking of prices going up for bad reasons, remember when again PlayStation raised the price of PlayStation Plus? What did they add with that price rise? Nothing. Was y'all getting on PlayStation's booty? No, you was not. You know you was not. No, you was not. No, you was. Nah, you weren't. All right. Remember when the PlayStation 5, their prices jumped up? I mean, look at the title right here. PS5 price jumps £40 as Sony cites challenging market conditions. Done by Liv McMahon. And this was done on 14th of April 2025. Sony has raised the price of its PlayStation 5 consoles worldwide, citing challenging market conditions. You know, as for European customers, the company points to high inflation and fluctuating exchange rates in a blog post explaining the decision. You know, they listed that down here. Sony's been rising things too. Nintendo was the first to bring in their $80 games, remember? Oh, y'all forgot about Nintendo. Yeah, the company ignores y'all. You forget about it, right? But not Xbox. We're gonna tear into their flesh. Let's talk about Sony. Remember, because we want to like that PlayStation fanboy, that biased idiot Maximilian dude, and his low IQ fans. I saw in the comment section. How many layoffs is Microsoft doing? You know, Sony is a layoff king themselves, right? They're a layoff king. Let's take a look. Written by Andrea Kenezovic. August 27th, 2025. So even more recent. Sony. It says Sony layoffs and their impact on the gaming industry. Look at this. This is laid out actually very nicely. I think I'm going to screenshot some of these. I can put it in the video so you guys will be able to see that as well. I mean, you can literally just research for yourself. It's not hard to find. It's not like this is hidden like Hunter Biden's laptop. It's not like it's hidden and being removed by Facebook and stuff, right? Total number of Sony layoffs for 2022-2025. Sony Interactive Entertainment has laid off 1,568 employees across multiple divisions, with the largest job cuts occurring between 2023 and 2024. So there were cuts in 2025, but that just wasn't the largest ones. And you got key Sony layoffs and studio closures. Sony layoffs in October 31st, 2023. And it says Bungie, which Sony acquired for $3.6 billion in 2022, and nothing's really resulted off of that. Y'all thought you was getting Halo. Shut up. Faced unexpected financial setbacks. The studio's revenue fell 45% below internal projections, leading to the layoff of 100 employees. Remember when things weren't going so well and some investors pulled out, which cost Sony millions? That's not happening with Microsoft. But Xbox is dead, but PlayStation's alive and well. Okay. Okay. This underperformance also forced Bungie to delay key projects, including, they showed here, Marathon and Destiny 2, the final shape. The layoffs highlighted growing concerns about Bungie's profitability under Sony. So before Sony, what did they find? With some questioning whether the acquisition had been overvalued. They just want to take a shot at Microsoft, and it just failed so badly. The Bible says that the trap and the snare the enemy leaves for you, their own foot will be caught in it. The Bible's true. Read your Bible, kids. Go to church. Jesus Christ is God. He's Lord. Go repent. So Sony layoffs February 27, 2024. On February 27th, Sony announced an 8% reduction in its global workforce, affecting approximately 900 employees across the Americas, EMEA, Japan, and APAC. This move came amid increasing financial pressures and a need to streamline operations. And then you got Sony layoffs July 31st, 2024. Remember, check out Island Gaming with Jay's video. He showed a bunch of those lists of some of these other layoffs. It's not showing exactly the same ones that I have, but he also has some other ones as well. So some of them, of course, will be the same, but some will be different. So check out those since you want to be ignorant of these layoffs. Sony's even worse. Just 9 months after its first round of layoffs, Bungie cut an additional 220 employees, amounting to 17% of its total workforce. CEO Pete Parsons acknowledged that Bungie had been too ambitious. Oh dear. Sony layoffs October 29, 2024. Oh, we all know this one. Can you just say the game? You're going to know it when you head to the studio. Sony made a decision to shut down Firebreak Studio. Firebreak Studio? Didn't they develop a game? They developed PlayStation's masterpiece, the best PlayStation's ever made. It says the developer behind Concord, the biggest flop in all of gaming history, and that belongs to PlayStation. But PlayStation is alive and well, and Xbox is dead. Ackman, where was your video? No, of course not. You're a retard. Yeah, great. It said, look at that. Firebreak had been a key part of Sony's push into the live service gaming sector, but Concord failed to gain traction against competitors like Fortnite. Once again, Fortnite. Maybe this is why y'all hate Fortnite so much. Fortnite out here spreading cheeks. And, oh, look at this. The Xbox first party game is listed here too. And Call of Duty, specifically Warzone. So Epic Games and Xbox. I'm sorry, PlayStation is not Epic Games, but PlayStation is not Xbox. As a result, Sony permanently closed the studio, cutting approximately 210 jobs. But y'all want to talk about Tango. Oh, y'all want to talk about Tango and Cash. But you don't want to talk about Firebreak Studios. Again, you see how PlayStation gets let off, but Xbox gets the noose? Well, sorry, that noose ain't gonna do it. And it says factors contributing to Sony's layoffs. 1, increasing costs, and oh, look at this, and declining game sales. I thought PlayStation bums bought their games. I'm seeing developers saying Game Pass is a good thing for them. It supports them. Maybe Game Pass is better because they get the bag right up front. Well, developers, again, Square Enix is like, nope, exclusively to PlayStation doesn't work. Hey, Final Fantasy, we'll put it back on Xbox. We're sorry, Xbox. Here's back our games, man. We ain't going to do that again. They hit us with Visions of Mana. Come on now. Increasing costs. And increasing costs apply to everyone. Xbox, PlayStation, that's just real. These games are getting more expensive. Electricity is expensive, broadband, these computers, the software, motion capture. I've done motion capture before. That's not some cheap thing. You don't just set that up in your mom's basement. You know, I mean, you sort of can. Well, it depends on the lighting, you know. We can investigate that another time. You know, that's in there. Number 2, it says the live service bet is not paying off. And that's the thing. PlayStation needs to make it pay off because single player games is not bringing in the money like that. I saw an idiot make a video talking about Starfield is dead and, you know, it's lost so many players. I'm like, it's a single player game, moron. How many times do I have to say that? But they know that. They just do that because bashing Starfield gets them views. And it did get them views. But you see how dishonest they are? Stupid people. Literally worthless channels that are created for nothing. They're just there for engagement farming. Single player games lose their players. But Starfield has the achievement of being the best single player. It was staying in the top 15 monthly active on Xbox for the longest time as a single player game. How many people are playing God of War Ragnarok right now? How many people? So where's your video saying God of War Ragnarok is dead? Where's that video? Where's that video? Not gonna make it, are you? You dishonest piece of crap. Exactly what you are. But PlayStation needs live service. And you want to talk about cancel game? One idiot replied to him as well. I retweeted. The term is quote. I quoted him. He was talking about one of the reasons why Xbox is a failure. It said 6 canceled games. You do know PlayStation canceled 10 of their live service games. And then when one of them came out, Concord, biggest fail ever. And then there's problems with Fair Games and Marathon and stuff like that. They're doing worse than Xbox. They're doing worse than Xbox, dude. But again, Xbox is going down the drain and dying, but PlayStation is alive and well for some reason. Because of console sales. Yeah, it certainly did it. Your console sales did not help Astro Bot, and it did not help Stellar Blade. It did not help Final Fantasy 16 either, alright? Okay? So shut up. Even the top brass in PlayStation are saying, we're focusing less on console sales. It's going to be more about monthly active users, which is what Xbox has been doing for the longest time. And point number 3, a broader industry trend of layoffs. You see that? It's not just PlayStation. It's affecting everybody. But let's get into one more thing, and I probably should just leave it there. I don't want this to be too long like I've done in other cases. Look at this title. Sony is a terrible company that's blowing it in the games business, says Michael Pachter. Michael Pachter was basically reading for himself, basically saying, yes, Sony is a terrible company. I mean, you heard it from other, you can say, biggest kind of figures from PlayStation who left and stuff like that. They're kind of being a bit tight-lipped about it, Johnny Tight-Lips, but they kind of hinted that, yeah, Sony sucks. Your PlayStation sucks. So he's a terrible business. And he's talking about basically how they took too long to get an ecosystem going. They are too slow to move into the cloud gaming business and stuff like that. Again, things that Xbox and Microsoft saw ahead of time and moved ahead, and they are leading in it. Xbox is number 1. Remember I reported to you guys a long time ago when I talked about the never-ending rising of Xbox. Xbox owns 60 to 70% of the cloud gaming market. That means they got the majority. That means PlayStation can't have equal or more. They can't. And they got to share with Nintendo. So they get the lowest share. 30-10, 20-20, 15-25. Xbox is ahead. They made the move first and they dominate. See the direction. Michael Patrick knows it. The direction we're going is cloud. It's digital. That's what Xbox got, xCloud. That's Xbox set up a whole ecosystem. Xbox Anywhere. Mobile phone, tablet, your iMac, laptop, a PC, the Xbox console itself, the Xbox handheld console, the Xbox ROG Ally X, the VR headset, which I got right there, Meta Quest 3S. Xbox knew and set it up. That's the direction. And he's saying that, yeah, he's saying Sony's blowing it. They're not doing it right. They're trying now to bring out live service games. Remember what Jimmy Neutron said? They call him Jimmy Neutron. He's a PlayStation fan, but I keep forgetting his name. It's, oh gosh, they call him Jimmy Neutron. I keep forgetting his name, and it's a simple name. I keep forgetting it. They call him Jimmy Neutron. He basically said it's Android something. It's Android something is his name. I can't remember, bro. He said that Xbox was known for multiplayer and PlayStation is known for single player, which again is not true because Xbox games also had single player campaigns and stuff like that. But you know what he's trying to say. Multiplayer, Halo, Gears, all online play, and Xbox did revolutionize multiplayer and all that kind of stuff, online gaming things. So yeah, but and PlayStation was single player like God of War, Last of Us, Uncharted, stuff like that. Spider Coop, which is not PlayStation by the way, that is Marvel and Disney, but whatever, right? The fact that they stayed too single player and they stayed in it for too long and they did not make the change like Xbox saw, they're behind. And you don't want to be behind your opponent who has the resource advantage. Again, I made this example. If you play real-time strategy games, you understand this. If you play Supreme Commander 2, your opponent is not only bigger than you, like they're ahead of you, and they control most of the map's resources. So they got like 70% of the mass extractors. Like you've got 30% in that match, and they're ahead of you. You can't beat them. You've lost the match. And they got 7% of the mass extractors, and they're ahead of you with more. They got 4 bases set up while you've got 2 and 3. You might as well quit the match right now and say GG's. You're never gonna win. PlayStation can't beat Xbox. They're set up, they're ahead, they've got the deals, Amazon Fire Sticks, they got everything going on, and they have the biggest resource of them all. Money. $1 trillion company versus $1 billion company. PlayStation can't win. The best they could do is just thrive in their corner. Xbox is spreading out. Japan is seeing it. It's spreading out. There's nothing you can do. They only can just do the best that they can, and they need live service games. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's up. It's up. And speaking of it, the last big thing I wanted to bring round up with, and I want to round up the video with this, the podcast episode with this. Xbox and its value. The biggest thing that people always overlook, 75 plus day one releases over 12 months. 75 plus means 75 million minimum. Almost a million. Crazy. 75 minimum. 75 day one releases over a year. Okay. Sorry about that. Over a year. There are 4 seasons in the year. Divided by 4. I did the maths in the last one. That's like 18. Let's lowball and say 18. 3 months in the season. Divided by 3. 6. That means every month 6 day one releases. 6. That will be more impressive than the list I gave already with all these bangers and stuff coming on. That's a more impressive list. You can't ignore that. You can't ignore that. And remember, the Tokyo Game Show, and they showed the games that's coming, and the ones that's going to be popping up next year and all this kind of stuff. They did that. Like the Game Pass they showed at the end. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and Ninja Gaiden 4, you know what I'm saying? They showed Microsoft Flight Simulator, they showed Terminal Brigade, they showed Winter Borrow, they showed Forza Horizon 6. These games that's going to be coming 2026. Remember, Fable's going to be coming. Yeah. Fable's going to be coming. Fable's going to be coming. Forza Horizon 6 is going to be coming. Gears of War E-Day. I remember Halo Studios is going to be bringing out Halo. Remember, they're working on multiple projects, and that comes down, and this is what I'm talking about. This 75 games over 12 months is easy for Xbox. PlayStation can't do it. They release baby steps. Third party, by the way. Ghost of Yotei. And what was it? Days Gone Remastered? Yeah, that's PlayStation's output. They can't do it. Xbox can. Just look at this. Hopefully I can find a picture of this. Just look at how many developers Xbox has under them. How many freaking developers? Are you kidding me? The amount that they have. This is crazy. I mean, from Halo Studios, Obsidian, the Coalition, Rare, you know, Xbox Publishing itself, all that going on. They got Compulsion Games. They got In Exile. I think In Exile is one was working on Clockwork Revolution, I think. They got Mojang, Minecraft. They got Ninja Theory, because Minecraft also did Minecraft Legends. They got Ninja Theory, who was doing things like Hellblade. They got, is it Turn 10? They're the ones that do like Forza Motorsport, I believe. They got, I think it's Playground Games. Games. I think World's Edge. Don't they also have, what's the other one called? I think it's called Elsewhere. They also got Undead Labs. You know what I'm saying? And that's from like one part, even though there's more. But if you go to, again, you include in Bethesda, Activision, and Blizzard. And we know what Blizzard got going on, Activision with the Call of Duty and the things that's underneath them, like Treyarch. We know about Sledgehammer Games. Is it Digital Legends that they also have? And then studios got around a place like, you know, Activision Shanghai. You got like Bethesda, you got ID, which did Doom and stuff. You got Arcane. You've got, I think, Roundhouse. You have Machine Games. That was Indiana Jones himself, right? You know, all that. And then King, which does the mobile thing. And they got Candy Crush and like Farm Heroes and all these things happening. Like, look at all of that. And if every single one of them is working on a game, they're never running out of games. I remember, and some of these developers are just going crazy on energy drinks and some steroids. Obsidian deserves probably Game Developer of the Year. For sure. Put them on the wall. Obsidian out here with Pentiment, but in this, which is very unique and is well made game. People diss it because of how it looks and stuff like that. No, that game is unique. and it's deep, and there's a lot in it. The people who played Pentiment are actually speaking very well of it. So if you haven't played it, shut up. Play it for yourself. It's in Game Pass, or look at yourself, watch a playthrough or something. See it. No, Pentiment is excellent. It's just so unique, right? It's so unique. But they released it what? Avowed, Grounded 2, and Outer Worlds 2 coming later on this year. 3 bangers from Obsidian. Do you know how massive some of these teams are? Like Halo Studios? Halo Studios are working on, I can confirm, multiple Halo projects. You had an S at the end? Plural. It's not just one game. Some of these suckers got multiple stuff going on. So with all this coming out, all these games is going to be rolling up. And not just that, they be working on updates. Diablo 4 Season 10, Infernal Chaos. I'm in that right now. I got 2 of the Chaos armor pieces. Come on. Like, you have to look at Xbox like the Whitebeard pirates from One Piece, the anime. When the Whitebeard pirates like pulled up to attack Marineford to rescue Ace. It is not just Whitebeard you have to deal with. You have the Whitebeard commanders. Then you have their allies. Renowned pirates of the New World, like Thunderlord McGee, the Bohemian Knight Duma, the DeKalvin Brothers, Whitey Bay, Swirling Spider Squardo, Little Oars Jr. Like, this is the same way. Like, you see Xbox, you see the main ship like pulling in, right? And then you got their allies pulling up. So you got like Xbox's main commanders for the Xbox Game Studios, the Halo Studios, the Coalition, Turn 10, Compulsion Games, Obsidian, Rare, all these big dogs, man. They're big cats, lions, tigers, Siberian tigers as well, Bengal tigers too, and all these things, panthers, jaguars. And then the allied ships are pulling in. Bethesda with their Doom, Activision, Blizzard all pulling in, which made this idiot online talking about Blizzard and Activision. They were failing companies. Failing companies? You idiot! What have you accomplished in your life? Activision has Call of Duty, which made over $1 billion in 3 days. Call of Duty, which is #1 played almost across all platforms, bro. That's a failing company, was making all that money and got deals that could put people in there, like even rappers and stuff. And Blizzard, what does Blizzard have again? Oh, only World of Warcraft. They only have Overwatch with all its tournaments. They only have StarCraft, which is crazy in Korea. They only have Diablo, which is the best Diablo-like game out there. Yeah, they're not making money, are they? No, they're not. I mean, nobody plays World of Warcraft. Nobody cares about Overwatch, apparently. I mean, all those tournaments, forget them. They're just AI generated, right? And what's Bethesda doing? Oh, yeah, Elder Scrolls Online makes like $15 million every month. Nobody played Doom. Indiana Jones wasn't so popular as being pre-ordered like crazy when he went to PlayStation. Yeah, I'm sure these are failing companies, you moron. You don't fail when you own Call of Duty. You don't fail when you're Diablo, Overwatch, StarCraft, World of Warcraft. Eugene's been playing that game with his guild for 30 years. You see how they try it? Nah, man. Xbox is the Whitebeard pirates, bro. They got their commanders coming in. King coming in with the submarine because it's mobile. They working under the radar. People not paying attention to mobile. But I'm telling you, if you look at the money that games like Goddess of Victory, Nikke, excellent game by the way, has been making. You look at Genshin Impact. You look at the #1 game that exposes all the YouTube sellouts. Every sellout YouTuber who's happily will lie to their viewers. They got sponsored by this game. Raid Shadow Legends, man. Do you know how much money these guys be making? Yeah, that game exposes every sellout on YouTube. Yeah, like all this money been making? Nah, that's what I'm saying. King is the submarine division. They're all underwater doing their thing, dropping nuclear weapons on people's head, bro. Yeah, Xbox is the Whitebeard pirates, bro. Their forces are so massive. Emperors of the seas. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah, Nintendo will have to be Shanks because they don't really have crazy allies. Like we saw the ally, but they were all a bunch of like jokes. It's just mainly Whitebeard pirates. I mean, red hair pirates is just Shanks. That's just it. It's the main guys on the ship. That's just it, really. I'm sure they got allies, but not like Whitebeard pirates. Yeah, when you look at everything they got going on and the 75 day one releases and all of that, nah, bro. And yes, not all of them are gonna be AAA, but it does say including all Microsoft publishing games. So a lot of bangers are coming in as well. When you look at all of that, you have to be an idiot to say there's no value. You have to be an idiot to say Xbox is dead. You have to be foolish to unsubscribe completely from Game Pass. You're also foolish if you went to PC. You just gave Microsoft more money. And you're absolutely a dishonest person if you're not gonna get on PlayStation for when they do their business or when Nintendo bring in their $80 games and all the stuff going on. $360 a year is $1 a day. I use it every day. Sounds like a good deal for me. $1 a day, that sounds like a darn good deal for me. And all those games that's coming out, and like I said, we did the math. 75 and times by $70, times by $50, times by $20, you get way more value for the 360. It is amazing value. They added more value. It's amazing. And the people out there, it just proves what your true colors are. You like the negative, you like the evil, you like the bad. Get on the straight and narrow way instead of being on the broad path that leads to destruction. Be honest, people. Stop being about negative. Make positive be the thing that go viral again. Make positive be what gets views again. Stop going to these negative channels. It's all about nonsense. Just stop it. I'm looking for the other updates. Starfield's coming with his massive update. Oh, it's good times coming. So yes, I'm staying right here on Xbox. I'm staying in this ecosystem. I'm staying in the VIP. And again, you can choose to fly first class, or you can choose to go like, business or economy class. Doesn't matter, because you're still getting to destination. You're still going to get to Jamaica, right? Landing in Kingston or Montego Bay. You're still going to get there. But just that obviously first class comes with more perks and features. That's what Ultimate is. More perks and features. It's not my fault I'm one of the elites of Xbox. And if you can't afford it, go to the other ones and still get some great things. Be honest, people. So I think I counted and talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. It's very simple. I like to hear what people's thoughts about this is. Keep it, again, polite and meek in the comments. Anybody comes in with a disrespect or whatever, I'm just getting you up out of here. I have no time for fools. Bible says don't waste your time with foolish talking and idiots, bro, basically. Don't waste my time. Be polite. I like to hear from you, honest people, intelligent people. And love you guys. Take it easy. And regardless of what's going on, make sure to do the Earthwalk. And I'll see you guys around.